Hello and welcome to Arcade Couch, the best place to show your friends get game goodness each and every PAX live from the couch we're currently sitting on in a hallway. My name's Dylan Blight. Joining me on the other mic, Ashley Holbrook.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here to do a normal show. We're going to be talking about the Telltale layoffs. It's just like the old Telltale. We're going to talk about how Naughty Dog has cancelled Master of Factions and all the other news of the week.
So yeah, let's go over PAX, not Telltale layoffs. That's probably... Let's just get Telltale layoffs.
Yeah, we talked about all the depressing news last week. So
did we?
Yeah, when they had all the other layoffs.
True.
The epic layoffs and
you're about to have to take 2 weeks holidays. I'm sure there'll be some more layoffs by the time you're back.
Yeah.
You know?
Because that's how capitalism works.
That's right. It's very good. So PAX's 10th anniversary. How do you feel about the show this year?
I thought it was very good. Like, obviously, yeah, it's interesting because obviously pre-COVID, there was a lot of AAA stuff. There was a lot of big stalls. Everything was very tight. And then you came back last year. Square Enix wasn't there. Microsoft wasn't there. PlayStation wasn't there. There was not a lot of big games to draw people in. And this year is a similar sort of thing. Like, of course, you got Nintendo here this year with a couple of big titles. But I wouldn't say they're big crowd bringers, I guess. But in its place, you've got a lot more room for tabletop games. You've got a lot more room for indie games, and also a lot more room for walkways, which is a nice change. So, yeah, I had a good time. I think it was a good show. If you're all right with what it was, it's just about expectations, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about any of the big stuff so much. So I know it was coming into the show and there's all these articles about, like, I wonder if Sony will return this year. I wonder if Xbox will return this year. Nintendo, of course, returned, and we can briefly go over it in a minute. But they had Mario here, and that's out in a couple of weeks. They had Detective Pikachu here. That was out the day of PAX. Like, there's no major third-party presence. Or first-party presence even. You had Sega with Yakuza and Sonic. Sonic's out, I don't remember, a couple months?
Yeah, in November.
Yeah, so that's coming up. Yakuza was, I guess, cool for people who care, but that's still like a very niche, like big for people who care, but also a 15-minute demo. I mean, you played it, a 15-minute demo of a Yakuza game. What's that really do for you?
Not a lot. It was very self-contained. Gave you a little bit of taste of the combat and other stuff. Although Kieran apparently had a whole 10-minute FMV segment with a Japanese woman.
That was his choice on where.
That was his choice. Yeah.
You went to a different place. He went to a place.
I thought, hey, I should fight some people in this Yakuza game, and he's like, no, I need to talk to the ladies. I mean, but romancing things is very common these days. So,
True. It's fair. All right, so let's... What happened?
No, it's the transition.
Oh, right. I was going to run down through... Let's just run down through what we've been playing, how we started the weekend. Let's just go this way. Stop on stuff that we care more about, and then skip over stuff we didn't so much. I guess I should quickly say, attended the AGDA's, the Australian Game Developer Awards on Wednesday night. It was really cool. Happy to be there celebrating Australian games in full force. Obviously, Australia Gods took home 3 awards, including the Game of the Year winner. So that was cool to see, the big dev team up on there on the stage, all happy and celebrating that. So that's sort of, it's not part of PAX, but it's part of Melbourne International Games Week. So,
what was it like being in the room where it happens?
Yeah, louder.
Louder?
Definitely a lot louder being there than it is watching the
stream.
The stream would be my take.
So what you're saying is they've got very good microphones.
They have decent microphones. I mean, you can hear back around. You can hear.
No, but for the recording for the stream, it must be really good if they're deafening out.
I think they're fine.
Yeah.
They're not Jeff Keighley level, but
How are the hosts?
Yeah, they were good. It was Jem and Harry from ABC. So they did quite good. They were funny, had good banter back and forth. I think I preferred having 2 hosts compared to last year they had all four from I can't remember what their collective group was, but like Ray and Tegan and whatever their podcast they were doing.
The Queens of the Drone Age.
Yes, but they've stopped that now. So yeah, rip. So, but they had all four of them doing it, which was like just I think 4 hosts is a little bit too many. You know.
No.
In fact, I'd say double the amount than.
Yeah, you don't have enough. Not enough content for.
No, yeah, I don't. Yeah. So I mean, I liked it. They were fine, but yeah, I'd say the 2 this year were better. Before, oh yeah, and I guess before we get into the PAX games, also we went and checked out the Cult of the Lamb sacrifice on
the ritual.
The ritual,
sorry. Sacrifice.
Yeah, but
it was specifically the ritual. Unfortunately, no sacrifice happened unless you include dryness under sacrifice things.
Yeah, I mean, I had jokes about the sacrifice being our time, but you know.
Well, no, I don't think it was.
No, I mean, they did this thing. They had what they call it, the big games night.
Yes,
which was put on by I guess Acme and other people involved. Pretty cool. We only hung around for a little bit, obviously, and it was running for more. Like they had a section down there where they had arcade games set up. They were doing a Smash Bros tournament. They had a cosplay area. They had a free play area with a bunch of games. We stopped to play one Crash
Team Racing. Was set on hard mode.
Yeah, it was set on hard mode. Fucking bastards. Then we definitely was on hard.
No, I'm pretty sure. You know, we both came in third against the computer. There's no way it was.
No one could finish that race.
In first place, yeah.
And then I got a fairy floss.
Yeah.
Massive.
What did it look like?
Massive sheep fairy floss. It's pretty cool. From Cult of the Lamb.
It was very, very smart product placement.
Yeah. I mean, we looked at it and then while standing there waiting for it to make it, I think everyone just suddenly was like,
man, that looks very cool.
That looks
very
cool.
I need to put that in my mouth. How sticky was it on a scale of 1 to 10? I don't know. With 10 being ooze.
9? It's pretty sticky. I forgot how sticky fairy floss can get. So I haven't had fairy floss since, I don't know, so long. But
yeah,
had to get it, you know, it was a sheep. So then we head back out. They do we get ready in the crowd for the sacrifice, of which there wasn't one.
Yeah, so to set the scene, there's a main stage that they've been doing other performances on. When we first got there, they were doing Just Dance, and the adult dancers were super into it. The kids that they got on stage had not had time to rehearse, so they were not as well seasoned as the adults. Then later they had a Stray Gods fashion show where, you know, they had people dressed up as the characters, like very close to as accurate as possible from the actual games.
And the costumes in that game are very...
and then they had Montaigne, is it?
Yeah, Montaigne.
Come out and performed a song from the game. And then, you know, they're preparing. Myth Warhurst was hosting the night, it seemed. They talked about the game and they were like, oh, the Col Lamb thing, it's going to happen.
What's going to happen? Don't know.
We're all waiting.
Yep.
Some people start shouting, sacrifice, chants going around. And some dude, I did see him, goes, oh, let's fucking kill somebody.
Who would say that in the middle of the
I don't know. Some sort of crazy person. But kind of set the mood. And then the lights go out on the stage. And then there's a bunch of projectors on the different buildings around Acme of Cult of the Lamb characters, a lot of the followers, and then a 15-minute timer goes up in the corner. So everybody who was at the stage is now turning around because the events is actually happening behind behind the crowd. So then everybody, much like the characters on the projection, are flocking forward towards this central area. So yeah, and then, you know, the timer slowly cut down. Fantastic music from the Col of the Lamb. And then, yeah, we had a big, I don't know, projection show / puppetry performance.
Yeah.
Before it became a Col of the Lamb themed rave.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Check it out on TikTok to see some of those images.
We're on TikTok now, by the way.
Yeah. Including, as I've seen it described, the yassified Cult of the Lamb.
Why was it yassified Cult of the Lamb?
Because It was yassified
All
because yes.
right. I feel like
I'm just repeating what people have said.
okay.
But yeah,
That piss down.
it that was what the ritual really seemed like it was doing.
Yeah,
It
brought
was
the
a
rain.
rain dance.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was very heavy, but it was an experience.
was an experience.
It was a collective experience that we were all there for. We all praised the Lamb.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a night I won't forget for a while.
And then PAX. Friday happens. We're PAX. We're here. We're doing things. First thing we do is you play Yakuza, which you talked about.
Yeah.
I went and played the Drifter first up, which is over at the indie showcase for this year. We will go. This is the first year I've played all 6.
Yeah.
The Go team.
Finally
Finally
pulling your weight.
Yeah, finally pulling my weight. Managed to play all 6 indie showcase winners this year, which was cool. So the Drifter, very cool game. You play as this dude. I think the character's name's Mick. He like sort of as a title proclaims, he's a drifter. He wakes up on this train. He goes to get off. A dude gets shot next to him, like obliterated by like a bunch of dudes with guns. Like what the fuck? Then he like gets out into the subway, ends up talking to a bunch of people. There's a lady down there from the quote unquote Herald, which may or may not have anything to do with the Herald Sun. Can't say for sure. Then she's like being like, oh, like, why are you homeless people choosing to be homeless? Which, I don't know. Sounds like something the Herald Sun would write, so I don't know if I'm reading between the lines there, but...
Some sort of right-leaning newspaper.
Newspaper thing there. And then, and then she ends up at the end of the demo getting kidnapped by these people, like, with hardcore, like, MI6 scuba suits and shit like that. I don't know, a lot of conspiracy theories and weird stuff going on. It's a fully voiced point-and-click adventure game, which was awesome because it meant like every little piece of dialogue. And the voice acting was really, really good as well. Very Australian, especially with the character Mick. He's like, yeah, bloody hell, love. Put the fucking, stop shooting at me, mate. Like that sort of thing. But I'll take it. Sometimes I do feel like these Australian games,
they get the most ochre people.
Yeah, they get the most ochre thing ever, but I'll take it. He seemed fine, but so that was really good. Great pixel art as well. So,
but the key thing was obviously a point and click adventure. You played it with controller.
Played it with controller,
which generally does not work.
No, sat down, see there's a controller there. Went, oh fucking why? Like, I knew it was a point and click game coming in. I sat down expecting to open up a laptop, mouse, keyboard, something like that. But no, but it works really, really well. And they've done I think they would make everyone play on controller to point out how good, it's like this fully voice acted point and click game. You can play it on your couch. You can play with a stick controller, whatever, and you'll be totally fine because you should flick the right analog stick around and
there's a wheel that shows
up and highlights all the items. So works really, really well. So I was quite impressed with that. That was awesome. You, as I said, you went and played Yakuza, which just talked about.
Yep.
And then we both ended up on the other side playing Crash Course Builder.
Yes.
Which is awesome. What's Crash Course Builder?
It is, I don't know how to describe it. An endless runner, I guess, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with specific levels.
It's like rhythm-based kind of.
It's rhythm-based. 5 lanes. You sort of switch between lanes to avoid obstacles. Jumping, collecting coins, that kind of thing. Each level will have like objectives or whatever.
We're not really jumping though. Like you just switch lanes.
You only thing you do is switch lanes.
Yeah.
But there is a lot more depth on top of that. But really fast paced at times. There's like 3 different speeds in which it goes at, all in time with the music, all kind of working together perfectly. And of course all the tracks are buildable. So if maybe you don't enjoy racing, you want to create a bunch of tracks, we'll make Dylan want to throw a switch across the...
Yeah, you can do that. So
but yeah, you got super hyper focused in that period of Meteor Hour.
Chuck that. Yeah, well, I put it on hard mode, and then I was just like, I was like struggling on that one level. I got through the first few, and then eventually I was just like this one level. I kept dying and dying and dying. Like, but it's really, really good. And I think that the biggest shout out I can give to that game is like it wasn't actually like making me angry, but it was just that thing of like I just want to keep going. Like, I just need.
I need to do this.
And you load in, and you're instantly back in. There's not like that's what I talked to Deb after. I was like, there's no load time. There's no gotta wait to click continue.
There was no choice.
No, you must keep playing. You know,
Yeah.
you
It
don't.
loads back in. You
Yeah.
have to actively decide not to play anymore.
Yeah, so that was really cool. I'm definitely keen to play more of that. I'm not going to create any levels. The level creation looks super simple. Just
Yeah.
not. It's not level creation is not really my wheelhouse.
You'll
Like,
play a bunch.
I'll play a bunch. Yeah, I'll play other people's levels, but I'm not creating any myself. But it's really easy. Like he was showing on the tablet or whatever. You
Yeah.
just slide your finger across it and you can drop down whatever, you know, stuff in the stuff to dodge or platforms or whatever. Fairly easy. So that was really cool to see. So then the show opens. We head over to Mario, I believe, right? Next,
Yeah, I think
that was next. That's what we're doing anyway. We head over to Nintendo. We play Super Mario
Wonder.
Super Mario Wonder, and a little bit of Prince of Persia. But Super Mario Wonder was about a 15-minute demo, I guess.
Yeah, something like that.
We did play 4-player, very hectic. I mean, to be honest, any Mario game with 4 players always just feels super hectic to me.
Yes.
It's not my preferred way to play, but I know there's an element of
Well,
fun
there was
to be
2
had.
elements that made it hectic.
Mm,
1, there was 4 players.
mm,
2, there was a time limit.
mm.
I guess there was a third element, which is that you're playing and you felt like we needed to get through as much as humanly possible
Yeah.
in that time limit. Which, to be fair, we got through a lot.
Yeah, go me.
But did we get the best experience possible? Probably not.
Yeah, we got to see the drill and finish all the levels though.
We got halfway through the last level before the game cut us off. But yeah, it's colorful. Definitely a different look, like artistically, to any Mario game we've had before. You do get those trippy moments of pipes moving and the weird colors and that kind of stuff, and it's fun finding collecting all the different wonder seeds. And then we had that level with the drills where you know
we activated the one.
You activated it, and then at the end there's a kind of like a boss thing where you know the ceiling's falling in on you, and someone needs to make sure they drill down, and everybody gets down before the thing collapses on top of them, and that kind of stuff. And then we had a level with a bunch of bulls, and like freaking in Spain or something.
Yeah.
Which, you know, was fun watching people get destroyed by. Not me though. I made sure to jump over them, but yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah,
and the elephant character.
Yeah, the elephant in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the elephant in the room. The elephants were a lot of fun.
Yeah, they look cool. You can bank up elephant tokens or whatever they're called.
Flowers. Whatever. Yeah.
But yeah,
power-ups, elephant power-ups.
Elephant power-ups. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm keen to play it. I really like the art style. I think it's very colorful. I know there's been a lot of talk about the art style and the direction change, and some of the, I guess, hardcore Mario traditionalists, if we're going to call them that, don't love it. But you know, whatever. I think it's cool. I like the weird flowers that talk to you and then apparently take you on a drug trip, and you know whatever's going on there. Got this new character I can't remember the name of now. Was getting told they're like the mushrooms of this kingdom, like the different.
Oh, the flower,
whatever they were, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got some new characters and stuff in there. So that's out in like a couple of weeks. So keen for that. We then got to Prince of Persia. I played that at the Nintendo booth as well on the Switch. Even though that we did confirm that yes, even though I forgot, it is coming to other things other than Nintendo Switch. That said, it plays really well on Switch.
It plays really well. We did play it in handheld mode as well. So it wasn't as good as it could possibly look. It wasn't the best version of the game, but still looked very pretty. I was the only one who did not skip through the cutscenes.
Yeah.
So
where did you get far?
The setup, you're part of a band of, an army who come into this, palace, and all the previous army that have gone in and have all been aged rapidly. So they've died, but they've only been there they've only been gone for like an hour. But their corpses that are still there have been rotted for several years, several 50, 60 years. So you have to go explore the palace, try and figure out what's gone wrong. And yeah, I mean, it's very original Prince of Persia, the 2D side scrolling, but a little bit more forgiving than that version ever was. I don't know if you ever played that version, but like if you
The original, yeah. It's like
if you didn't hit the jump at the
Yeah.
exact right point,
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a lot more forgiving. Combat is really fun. Whether you're shooting arrows or throwing like a circle thing, a charm, I think it's called or something, or fighting enemies with the swords as well. Yeah, but really good art style, cool design of the backgrounds and that kind of things. We got a sneak peek at kind of the skill tree as well. And then yeah, and then just a slight taste of some of the time travel kind of stuff. So I really enjoyed my taste of it. What about you?
Yeah, so the reason I skipped all the cutscenes is because you just told me everything I need to know, and I got to play more of the actual game. So
Okay, no.
you know, it's fine. Yeah, I made it I got all the way through to the final boss at the end of the demo, which is a giant like minotaur lion cross hybrid thing. I don't really know, but that was quite hard. Didn't beat that, but up until that, I was really enjoying it. I think it felt great. I definitely feel like it's a game I'd prefer to play on a handheld, to be honest. Just something about Metroidvanias on handheld just feels like it's sort of at home, which is I think maybe why they were advertising it that way. I think it makes sense. But yeah, the dodging, the fact you can plant a rewind or whatever they're calling it in the game, you know, like a ghost version of yourself, you know, behind you, you attack the enemy in front of you. Instead of dodge rolling backwards, you can literally just rewind your body backwards there, like, and attack and maybe there's another enemy behind. It's a way to get behind enemies who have shields. There's like, I don't know, it definitely felt like there was a lot of options and to use the combat in the game, and I felt it. I definitely felt like it felt really, really good. I really liked the art style. Um, you know, resolution or whatever on the Switch handheld didn't look as good as obviously if it was in docked mode or if it was on the PS5 or whatever. I don't think it really made much of a difference to how I would enjoy the
It doesn't
game,
detract
though.
from the art style
No,
itself.
and it doesn't detract from overall enjoyment of the game. So that was the thing. I won't say too much about it because I'll probably just do an article later down the line. But shout outs, I went and did a Asus ROG, or just an Asus mostly ROG thing, but showing a bunch of the laptops and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like there's anything I particularly learned new there. It was just sort of reiterating on a lot of the stuff that their products and like the different how they have 3 different lines, and one, you know, they've got one that's super flashy lights, and this is the, you know, targeted to the gamers. This one's a bit more like, hey, you're a gamer, but you're also working in an office. You can use this laptop as both. Here's the ROG Ally, which of course I'm already a huge fan of, but getting to see people play that for the first time.
There's some new ROGers.
New ROGers, yeah, or new would-be ROGers, getting to try it out for the first time was cool. Had you seen the ROG in real life before then? No.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it'd been demoed at like any major stores.
What do you think? Did you
look very white? I mean, it looks, you know, as I expected. So
looks like a handheld.
It looks like a handheld.
Yeah, fair enough.
So,
all right. So then let's go to the next game. Another one we both really liked, Denari, over at the Code New Zealand area.
Code New Zealand smashed it out of the park this year.
This year, yeah, absolutely killing it with the selection of games they had there. What is Denari, other than a character that looks like Lisa Simpson crossed with Crash Bandicoot?
You know, I guess action role play, well, action RPG, roguelike, I guess, where you play some sort of warrior who's getting trained up. He has sword abilities. He's got some sort of telepathic abilities. And the demo that we played was very much a tutorial, like kind of giving you a taste of each of these different attacks. And then by the end, you kind of put them all together and take out a bunch of enemies and that kind of stuff. Just really well put together. The action was really, the combat was actually really fun. And yeah, it just ran really well and was very fluid. So
yeah,
it looked really good.
I didn't play, but I watched you play and then talk to Dev and whatever else. But I really like the look of it too. I mean, the reason we stopped there was like, this looks like Death's Door or something like that. And
yeah.
The Dev was like Bastion. I was like, yep, any of those, whatever. Like, so which is definitely, that's whatever we call that genre.
Yeah, it's hard with those genres. Yeah, it's like
I know it's a genre that we like though.
Yes,
this is how I feel about that. Over on the other side, played some Monster Racing League. So I'll say gameplay really, really cool. Easy to pick up and play. Carts on rails. You simply control when to boost, when to use your abilities, when to use your shield, when to use one of your offensive abilities. You can change these out between matches and stuff like that. But yeah, very easy to pick up and play. But the other part of that that you thought was very cool was the I can't remember the company's name unless you
In-game collectibles.
Yeah.
So when you hear that, you would think, oh no, it's some kind of
It's some sort of NFT.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's so what the company does is the game gives them access to the camera, and they're able to take like 100 different pictures around the model of your created character, and then they take it out of the game, create a 3D model, and then they're able to 3D print that and make a proper like physical vinyl figure. So what within Monster Racing League, you can get your own figure for like $49, which is pretty cool. But yeah, obviously that tech implemented in something like a Baldur's Gate or a Starfield or any other Destiny, any of those games in which you want a cool figure, or like even in Spider-Man, like you go into photo mode, you pick whatever stance you want your Spider-Man to be in, what suit you want him to wear. You could potentially get a figure of that. So very interesting tech. Hopefully New Zealand tech as well. So hopefully, something that could be implemented and get some more funds for devs.
Definitely feel like it's very cool for like original games. It's never going to be used by like Spider-Man or
they don't need to. I mean, for indie devs, it's really cool because obviously they can create. There's no upfront costs for making figurines. It's like on demand.
Yeah.
If you want,
which is why they cost so much, like to a degree.
Yeah, obviously it's more than a pop vinyl, but for $49, it's
if you're really into the game, like, character or whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool tech.
Very
cool idea.
Yeah.
Next to that, or a couple across from that, we played Up to Par. So it's a roguelike golf game.
Yes.
Very simplistic visually, but like does the job perfectly well. The idea is that you do a bunch of holes, and then at the end, the amount that you have left over, like shots.
So you don't. It's not counting up; it's counting down.
Yeah.
So you start with 3 shots, and it depends on how many you use on each hole. And then you obviously carry them over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if by the end you've carried over, you've made shots in like 2 out of instead of 3, and you've carried over, maybe you've got 1 or 2 or 3 spares, like shots you didn't use or whatever.
Yeah.
However we're wording it. And then you can use those to buy either permanent upgrades to your like character, I guess, or whatever. So like the amount of bowls you have, the amount of I don't know, other stuff, strength, whatever, and then some like consumable sort of stuff like an extra bowl, or hey, if it's close to the hole, it'll sort of fall in, but only once, and that's used, and whatever else. So very roguelike stuff, but just in a very simplistic mini golf game.
Yes.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
It was.
Yeah.
And then some of the courses at the end got very hectic with their shapes. So
you have to bounce off several walls somehow.
Yeah. How I didn't get the physics. How are you supposed to hit it through an octagon? I don't know. What's the right angle?
I don't know. Practice?
Probably. So yeah, I could see that being a game that you sink a bunch of time into.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go with I'm trying to find one that we both played here, but I'll go the Dungeon Experience. Shout outs. Oh, on the other side of the Indie Showcase, back to the Indie Showcase over here. So Dungeon Experience, when they announced it and they put out the trailer, I don't know, like a couple months ago or something like that. It's like from one of the people that did Rings of I can't remember what that game's called. Anyway, that the bloody mental blank, terrible, I'm bad. But anyway, that Australian game. And then you've got the bunch of new people working on the game as well. And honestly, when they put out the trailer, it was sort of like, okay, this has very, I don't know, Rick and Morty vibes to the gameplay, and whatever that studio is that person used to work with, Justin Roiland or whatever.
Crows?
What are they called?
No, not Crows. But
you know we know who we're talking about. And Squanch Games. There we go. It felt like a lot like that, but Australian, I guess. And that's sort of what it's like. Like you sort of the demo was half a custom experience and half like sort of part of the game. But you're thrown in. You've got this sort of wacky wild dialogue with characters. You're at this theme park that's sort of like a role playing and dungeon game. There's a talking crab. It plays the saxophone at one point. At the end, there's a giant purple head for some reason. I honestly like. I remember watching the trailer and just being like, "This looks like the weirdest freaking game ever." This was the first show they've shown off the demo too, as well. So the fact that I'd be really interested to see how what the reaction was, and from what I've seen over social media and stuff like that, it's definitely been one of the busiest, most talked about games there. And I do think part of that is because they haven't shown a demo at anywhere before at all. I don't think it's even press or anything. So very busy, but very, very cool. I'm keen to see more about that one. Where do you want to go next if you do a couple more?
Footy Bash.
Yeah, Footy Bash. That's one I don't know.
That's a one that a lot of saw a lot of attention on the floor. It is an NFL Blitz slash NBA Jam esque take on AFL. Yeah, what else do you need to say? Obviously, lots of violence, unnecessary violence. There is blood splatter all over the field. So you can just bash your the opposition into submission. Yeah, while trying to kick goals, which isn't super easy, as told by me and Buddy's 1-1 draw. So, but a lot of fun, and definitely, they're aiming for before the next season. So, a fun arcadey version of AFL, because this sim version has not been very successful.
And then I guess if we want to, and of course there's some more stuff we haven't talked about, eyes on explosionnetwork.com and stuff like that for more. But let's finish up on Rose and Locket. So this is the game that like everyone was saying I had to play, and this is the last thing I ended up playing. One of the last things you ended up playing? Or was it the last thing?
Yeah, pretty close to the last thing.
Yeah, so it's pretty much the last thing we all played, and then we've collectively...
I think I've seen at least 5 or 6 people, even when I was just standing there, come over and say, "Oh, game of the year, game of the show." So get ready.
Yeah, so that seems to be the one. I mean, as I was standing there, no, after I finished it or while I was waiting or whatever, Nathan from World Play just literally walks places and goes, "Game of show there." So I know, like,
yeah.
So a lot of hype behind it, really, but it is really, really good. So it's just a very cinematic, like side-scrolling action run and gunner type game. You're playing as this character who has their daughter trapped in their locket.
Yes,
because of reasons I can't remember, but
because of
magic,
the underworld,
demon underworld. Yeah, it's a lot to remember from a 15-minute demo.
But you've made a deal with the Sin of Envy to
kill people,
collect the other sins.
Yeah.
In return to release your
daughter. Yeah. So you do the first part of the demo, same start of the game, tutorial-esque, like here's how you jump, here's how you dodge, or like here's how you use your guns. Then skips you ahead to a boss battle with the first
Sin Wrath,
yeah. And even that, it skips around that boss battle, I think, to make it easier. Basically, it skips between the 3 stages of the boss battle.
Yeah,
it seems like.
Or they kind of flip between. I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess we'll have to wait and see
in the full game, but it definitely did like you were fighting and then suddenly it skipped your head, and it just seemed unnatural to the point that I was like, this is just for the demo's sake, sort of thing. But yeah, the reason I think the game was so good and standing out to everyone is beautiful, fantastic, unique art, very interesting contrast of colors, very comic booky vibes and stuff like that to it. And even to the point, there's a stage in that game where the first, I don't know, 7/10 of the screen are covered up by this giant tower you're going up to. And then at the bottom, you
have to do a little bit of platforming.
A little bit of platforming in this tiny section as a character, and then it combines it. It was reminding me of the framed, the phone game. That's what that was reminding me of, like the combination of moving between different sort of sections on the one screen. And the combat, although nothing wholly unique, feels good. Like the guns felt good, especially between the pistol and the rifle.
Yeah. For a game in which there is a lot of close combat, it still felt very good to have a long range weapon. You have these little worm creatures kind of jumping up at you, so you have to kind of be very aerial and take them out,
Mm.
you know, that kind of stuff. So
Very iframey game, which I like, and I know some people don't, which is basically just meaning that you take full advantage of the fact that you can dodge. Like if you dodge through an enemy, there's invisibility frames. If you double jump, which causes a dash, like there's invisibility frames. So it's a game definitely I can tell that's designed around using iframes as like purposeful as you can, which is fine. But I know some people prefer more meaningful combat or whatever. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, all the combat felt really good. You have dynamite as well. I guess is the other thing you could.
Yeah, that's true.
Really cool. But yeah, music was fantastic. Voice acting, fully voice acted.
Yeah, I think the dev saves almost completely. They've got a couple of roles they need to fill still.
Yeah. So you had like the daughter talking a couple times from the locker.
And
then you had the main character talking just like monologue. Oh no, like inner monologuing, I guess at times and stuff. And then speaking to the sins as well. So and then the sin at the end, Envy was it Envy? Okay, Wrath. Sorry, Wrath was very demonic sounding, deep growly voice sort of thing. And yeah, really fantastic music. So I think that's this, and as a whole thing, it just felt very like complete. Like playing it, you're just like. And obviously, there's nothing wrong with games at PAX being incomplete. You play a lot of stuff that you're like, this is obviously in works, and that's fine, and whatever else. But
felt very, very far along.
You just felt very far along to the point that you're like, fucking.
Why isn't it out now?
Take my money, give me the game, please and thank you. You know, so really, really cool. And the dev, or particularly the main dude, we spent like half an hour talking to. I felt like
the artist,
he was really nice. So
2-man team.
Yeah, crazy,
working part-time in the last few years. So
yeah,
hopefully it's next year's Dredge.
Whoa, there can only be one successful New Zealand game a year.
Yes. Yeah.
No, you can only have one New Zealand. You can't have two.
Hopefully it replicates the success of Dredge.
Anything else you want to shout out before we wrap up for this PAX edition of Arcade Couch?
No, I mean, it was a fun to see everybody. That was cool. Just we did a bunch of other videos talking about some of our favorite games of the show. So check those out on.
So this will be up before that, so just look out for them. We're trying something
social media.
Here. They'll be on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts.
Yeah,
we're going with the kids.
We're chasing those children.
Yeah, I'm going two forms.
We're chasing the viewers.
I'm either writing things or short form content. Like nothing in between now. No, it's over.
Yeah,
I want TikTok viral, you know.
Yeah, you get one video that gets 1,000 views.
Yeah, it's like
there's more views than all our video content. Yeah, like that's the way.
That's it. Switched.
Done.
Fuck YouTube. Apart from shorts.
But yeah, lots of promising stuff. Indie show bigger. Like we also said, New Zealand really came out.
Killed it.
Was impressive. Which should say to the Australian government, you need to up your game. More funding for Aussie devs.
And with that, thank you for joining us for this episode of Arcade Couch, live from, I'm on literally the floor of a PAX Melbourne Convention Centre building. Keep your eye on explosionhour.com. Articles over the coming week or weeks, I guess, depending on how long it takes me to get some stuff up. Keep your eye on the TikToks, the Instagrams, and the YouTube Shorts for the stuff we're talking about there. And stay tuned for next week. No Ash on Arcade Couch for a couple of weeks, though. He's off to, I don't know, I can't remember what. Is it hot there, right? Yeah, it's sunny. No, it's not. Is it?
I have no idea.
I don't know. He's off to somewhere that's got different weather than Queensland. So you can look forward to me here. And until next time.
I think I only missed one show.
Really?
Yeah.